Stanford might be one of the biggest sleeper schools out there. And even though this place only ranks among the top 3 schools in the country, some of the smartest students in the world have openly admitted.
So Harvard was not my first choice. My first choice was actually Stanford.
So I think it's safe to say, Stanford might be the actual hardest college to get into. I mean, from the beautiful location to the amazing academics, million-dollar startups, and crazy alumni like Elon Musk, Andrew Huberman, and Tiger Woods. I mean, no wonder this is where these genius students wish they had gotten into. So today we're out here in Palo Alto to see if this place really is better than the Ivy League schools by doing what we do best. Asking the students how the hell they got in here. So first question, starting off easy here. What is your name? Where are you from? And what are you studying here at Stanford?
Hi, my name is Alex.
Selena.
Nicole. Arrow with a D.
My name's Gabby.
Gift.
Rick.
Ali. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Florence, Italy.
Long Beach, California.
I'm from Los Altos, California, which is like in the Bay Area.
Sebastopol, California, which is 2 hours north from here.
I'm from Seattle.
Nigeria.
Kansas. I'm a sophomore from Philly, and I'm studying symbolic systems, which is a combination of computer science, linguistics, and philosophy.
Oh wow, you're really checking all the boxes. That's awesome.
I'm studying political science.
International relations.
Data science and minoring in music.
I'm studying philosophy, but I'm also a pre-med student.
I'm a human biology major.
I'm a cellular bio major.
I'm a German studies major student.
German studies? You speak German?
Yeah, I do speak German.
Anything you want to say?
Hallo, wie geht's? Ich unterrichte Deutsch.
Wow, I don't know what that means, but that was pretty cool. And was Stanford your first choice of a college?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. Top one.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Ever since I was little, this was like my dream. So I'm so excited to be here.
I'm from California, so of course.
Of course, duh.
Yes, it was.
It was.
It was, yeah.
It was, 100%.
Well, it was kind of an awkward story. So like I just spun a wheel to decide where I was applying early, and it landed on Stanford. So that's why it was my top choice.
Oh my gosh, and we ended up here. It's a match made in heaven. And did you apply to any other schools?
I did. I applied to a lot of different UCs, a couple of Ivies.
The UCs, Harvard,
Princeton, MIT, Berkeley.
UPenn, UCLA, Berkeley. Ooh, bad Berkeley.
Yeah, I mean, I applied to ASU, and I applied here, and I applied to Harvard.
MIT and Berkeley.
Like all the UCs, state schools, just anything that had my major that I really liked.
And we ended up here.
Yes, we did.
And we're happy with it?
Super happy with it.
Awesome, awesome. And now getting into some more fun questions here.
Okay.
Okay. What is the weirdest interaction you've had with another Stanford student?
Weirdest interaction.
Ooh. During this week, like the frat guys are doing their stuff. So I saw one of my friends, and he was walking around in like full hockey gear.
Recently, there was someone dressed as a Power Ranger, like instructing like roundabout traffic.
I once saw someone dressed up as Peppa Pig. I really love Peppa Pig.
I saw someone took the 106B midterm yesterday in a full like Batman costume. So it's been pretty fun seeing what people have going on.
I saw Batman out here today too.
Yeah.
We've heard so many different costume stories today.
Really?
It's definitely a thing here at Stanford, yeah.
Probably just like sometimes people can be very intense, and so they'll like ask you like right off the bat whether you have like a startup or something like that.
I have a friend here who wants to be a farmer in Nigeria, and he's not Nigerian. And I was like, that's so crazy, tell me more.
I walked past like these 2 guys that had a camera, and I was just like on my way to the library, and then he came up on one of those like hoverboards and like circled me, and he was like, do you want to be in a TikTok video right now? Yeah, I feel like that's the weirdest thing so far.
Oh man, I gotta get me a hoverboard then. I gotta upgrade my game.
Not weird, but like people like have a lot of money, but it's not weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that builds perfectly into our next question. What is the most bizarre rich thing you've seen another Stanford student do?
Bizarre rich thing?
Bizarre rich thing.
This is kind of a crazy question.
Oh, just like flying home every weekend to have their parents do their laundry. That's insane.
I know someone from my last dorm. They hired someone to come in and do all their laundry for them.
I feel like just like the trips that people take. Just people go to like random crazy places and meet a bunch of like really important people.
Probably take a 2-day trip to Europe in the middle of the quarter. That was pretty wild.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, just going to Europe,
Casual,
no big deal.
Very, very casual.
I mean, you just walk past the parking lot and you see those cars.
Like fancy cars in the garage.
You know, of course, there's some Teslas that are high end. You see BMWs. I might have even seen a Lucid Motors car, which is like $200K.
Probably like Uber to class or something.
Ubering across campus.
My friends will take Ubers to go to each other's dorms at night.
You know, you're not the first person to say that today, surprisingly. Ubers are definitely a popular thing here, for sure. And now moving into the more academic questions here, what do you think is the #1 study tip that helped you get into Stanford?
Honestly, I was a big crammer, which is not what I recommend, but it helped me.
I just like studied a lot, like 10 hours per day.
I went to office hours a lot in high school.
I think putting my phone in a separate room.
It's kind of cliche, but you have to be passionate about something.
To get into Stanford, I feel like people usually usually go for kind of the high GPA, club presidents, all that stuff. Everybody who's applying to Stanford for the most part kind of has all those things. So it's really like they want to see you deep dive into something you're passionate about.
I don't know that like my studies got me into here. Like I think it was a lot about my extracurriculars and what I did like outside of the classroom.
I was pretty busy in high school. I played sports. I had a lot of extracurriculars. So blocking out my time really well in terms of studying, taking care of my little sister, showering, eating, spending time with my friends, really making sure that I was planning out my day so that I was as efficient as possible.
I think it was honestly like studying for your own success and not for like any like external motivation such as grades. I just always like really wanted to like do well so that I could be happy with how I had done.
So the inner peace.
Yeah, exactly. The inner satisfaction, inner peace.
I like that. That's awesome. So obviously you got into Stanford, which means you had some pretty good high school stats.
Oh gosh.
So what was your GPA, your test scores, and were you in any extracurriculars in high school?
Oh my God, it's my whole resume.
It's been a while. I had a 4.0.
4.0.
4.0.
I had a 4.88 graduating high school. Was not valedictorian. I was like 22nd or something.
4.6.
4.6.
I don't remember my GPA, but it was like 4 point something weighted.
My school had a scale like out of 100, so I think it was like a 94.
For my case, I definitely have a very high GPA because the study is the most important thing in China.
In Nigeria, we call it first class. So I had like a first class results.
So my school is kind of unique because it didn't really calculate a GPA. I also didn't take any standardized testing.
My test scores, I got a 1500 on my SAT.
1510?
1580?
I got a 33 composite on the ACT. And then extracurriculars, yeah, I was on student council.
Work experience with the UN.
I was involved in a lot of like sexual health things, so I was like helping run a clinic and a lot of horse rehabilitation centers. So that's kind of random.
I was involved in a lot of music things. I like did competitions on an international level and like national level.
I worked with my school's like TEDx. I spoke at TEDx my freshman year.
I worked on some projects in high school with some friends. We built like a social media type app for getting like friends together, and we got it in some schools. We had like a waiting list. We put the app on the App Store.
I did an internship where I basically like taught birds how to migrate by flying with them. And so I flew with them from Austria all the way down to the southern tip of Italy, which was super fun, yeah.
Oh my God, that is so cool. That's definitely like top of the list today. And I have one final question for you here. It's the question everybody's been waiting for.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, that's big time. What is the craziest Stanford scandal you've heard while you've been here?
Ooh.
Craziest Stanford scandal.
Oh gosh.
I feel like Will Curry has to be the biggest one.
Will Curry.
Will Curry.
The guy that was living in the basement of Crothers was pretty crazy last year. I forgot his name. What was his name? Will?
The Will Curry scandal, yeah.
Will Curry?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
There was a student who pretended to attend this school and was living in the basement of one of our dorms.
He was like a 25 or something, and he pretended that he was taking classes here, but he wasn't ever enrolled, and he was sleeping next to one of my friend's dorms.
He was living in the basement of Robley 2 years ago. Then he got kicked out, but then he was living in the basement of Crothers, and like people knew him. Like my friends who lived in Crothers knew him.
He just like kept sneaking into the dorms and was living there, like eating in the dining halls and taking classes like unenrolled, and was just showing up to lectures.
So basically he stole one of the TVs in our lounge, and so they were like looking for this missing TV, and I guess maybe that's how they ended up finding him and kicking him out.
And then there was like a big expose written about him in the Stanford Daily. So that was pretty exciting.
No way. Really? That's crazy. I have not heard that yet. That is insane. And anything else you want to shout out before we go here?
Well, shout out to you, and I hope your YouTube channel gets like much views.
You're the best.